What's up, YouTube, and welcome to the channel. This week we're going to continue our adventure in the Pisgah and Cherokee National Forest. The next morning was steak, egg and cheese, bagels, and coffee for breakfast. And Rob, if you're watching, yes, that's Deb doing her hair with the Jackery 500. After we packed up camp, it was time to hit the road and see what the day would bring us.
There was a bunch of stuff on Instagram. Somebody else did that.
Service job there. That's a big chainsaw.
Yeah.
About 10 miles from where we camped at Brown Mountain, we came across this stream and several dispersed camping sites. Just goes to show you never know what's going to be around the next corner. We could have made it here last night with ease and been able to camp right beside this awesome stream. You just never know. Right at the end of the awesome campsites was a road closed sign right in the middle of nowhere. It was time to turn around and look for a detour. If you've watched any of our videos before, you'll know detours are where we find some of the coolest stuff. This one was no different. We ended up in a place called Wilson Creek, and it was absolutely incredible. Wilson Creek is a 23-mile mountain stream that was added to the National Wild and Scenic River System in 2000. It starts at the top of Grandfather Mountain, and in just 20 miles it turns into this, rushing water through a granite gorge. We couldn't get over how clean and crystal clear the water was. We had no idea that the little stream that we had lunch by the day before would turn into such a magnificent stream. There were several places along this road to stop, get out and get down to the creek and enjoy the water. There were even places that were dammed up where you didn't have to get out into the moving water. One thing we're always on the lookout for is wildlife. This trip didn't yield a whole lot. We were able to see these little critters here.
There's 3 of them. See them running?
4 of them.
Oh, 4.
It's a mom and baby. We're now day 3 into our trip. Ice is melting and we're starting to look for places, but the problem we're running into is everything is closed. Open. Well, the light was on, but nobody was home there, so it was time to move on. We came upon Coffee's General Store. While it wasn't open, the lady that runs the store was super nice, and she actually gave us ice out of her home. It's not just the nature that's interesting on these trips. Sometimes you end up in little communities like this one. This is Edgemont. It's a small fishing community right along the Wilson Creek. It's like stepping back in time. Visitor parking here. Wilson Creek. I wonder if it's open. Once we got through Edgemont, it was back onto the Mountain Forest Service roads. About an hour after we went through Edgemont, we come out on Blacktop and found this cool store here. It was time to refuel and go ahead and top everything off with ice. After filling the gas tank in the cooler, it was time to get back on the road. There's always a cool place to camp. This was just a dispersed campsite along the Forest Service gravel road. By this point, we were trying to make our way to Table Rock, which is on the east side of the Linville Gorge. We've been extremely lucky with the weather, but our luck just ran out. By the time we made it to the parking lot at Table Rock, the rain had slacked off a little bit, but it was still too cloudy. You couldn't see anything. We decided not to make the hike, and it was time to get back on the road again. On this section of trail, we kept seeing signs for a bear sanctuary. We were really hoping to see one, just didn't pan out. We found a little offshoot spur of Forest Service Road. Thought going to the end of it might be the perfect place to have lunch. It was a great spot, but the rain found us again. Good thing we had that OBS awning.
Let's just pick what's good out of it and throw the rest away.
Okay. Lunch menu for the day, burrito bowls. After lunch, it was time for a drive past Lake James. We were on our way to the Linville Gorge. By this time, we had talked to Alan and Nancy. They were on their way to meet us and follow along for the rest of the trip. The plan was to meet on the north end of the Linville Gorge. While we were on our way, it was our job to stop and look for the perfect campsite for the night. I think we may have found it on the first one.
This is the spot them guys camp.
Yes. That's our sunrise. We kind of knew where we wanted to camp for the night after seeing the first one, but we did look at several other ones on the way across. The route we were taking to get to the north end of the gorge was the old North Carolina Highway 105. While the clouds gave the view a different perspective, I'm sure the view from here would have been stunning without clouds. Gotta love North Carolina highways.
Yeah.
After we made it off North Carolina 105 in Linville, we met Alan and Nancy. We then made our way back across Linville Gorge to the first campsite that we found. We set up to a beautiful sunset and was really hoping for an even more incredible sunrise. Dinner that night was ham, green beans, and potatoes, and you had to love the cornbread. Today's adventure was filled with gorgeous creeks and amazing vistas. We hope you stay with us for the next episode when we hit the famous Hurricane Creek. Thanks again for watching Coddiwomple Overland. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments below. We'll see you next time.